All right, let's try to figure out what's going on with the camera. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, this is all right. Can you folks hear me? I see some birthdays, but nobody can see me. Or I can't. Can you guys see me? I can't see me. Morning, Jamie. Sissy, you can hear me. Morning. Can anybody see me? I guess with the Black Friday, guys, I'm going to try a reboot because there is no reason the camera should not be on. Everything's plugged, everything says it's in. So I'm going to try a reboot and I'll be back with you. Windows has gone rogue, guys. Give me a minute to see if I can get this thing working or not. And it craps out again. We'll see if this works and for how long. Happy birthday. I saw Steve's 66. Saw Maria's 16th. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I've never had that happen. Unless they were just busy trying to hijack my camera and microphone to spy on me. Because it was convinced that somebody else was using my camera, but I was the only person. So, yeah. All right. Anyways, let's get to it. We're behind. Here's to Freedom Forged. Saw someone here in Northern Arizona. I'm visiting Flagstaff. Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading those. Didn't know if it was something breaking. It's good to be here. Good to be seen. I see Kathy celebrating 69. So far we got Steve and Kathy. Maria celebrating her 16th. Carrie, wrong shirt. It's my mean green bean shirt. Yeah, we must be over the target if they're trying to keep us that quieter or that spy on us that much. Granddaughter Tegan turned 2 yesterday. Happy birthday, Tegan. It is ripping through. I see Harley Honey, celebrating her 66th. Let's see. The secret to no computer problems is a 2.5-pound sledgehammer. Right? Or like the joke, why do the English not make computers? Because they can't figure out how to make them leak oil. For all you car guys out there and computer guys, you'll appreciate that. Or ladies. Smoked turkey was absolutely awesome. The food was fantastic. I went total fat boy on it. Bob celebrating his 69th in Michigan. We are supposed to have a militiaman. And then Mr. C, of course, followed by Matt and Lucas. It's an all-star lineup tonight. Ray, I pray the day you put on the mankini, we get a black screen again. Now, on that front, guys, I think somebody has sent me what I need to wear for that day. And I'll have to admit, it's pretty funny. Or at least in my opinion, it's pretty funny. Really? All right, let's try this. I've never seen the computer go this haywire. Let's try that one again. Believing I need this hoodie, custom designed. It would be a little safer than actually wearing the mankini, but even though it's just a drawing, my eyes are still burnt. Susie Q celebrating Thanksgiving today because my kids worked yesterday. We used to celebrate it on Saturday, or everybody go off to their new families on Thursdays, and then they would convene. Usually my place on Saturday for like just awesome. Prime rib on the smoker. I am due one of those soon. Ruth Ann, no, not due back on tonight. KJ, thought of you while I was eating my green bean casserole. I hope every one of you folks thought of me while you were eating your green bean casserole. 8th birthday to grandson Cole. Not my grandson, but boom, boom. Silver 55. They tried, guys. Did you follow them trying to suppress the price of silver overnight last night and it failed this morning? Another thing that is failing is for those that don't know, majority of derivatives are traded on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It hit the skitters already today. Like going down, the question is what's making it implode? Is it just a technical glitch? A lot of different pieces of this puzzle are all coming together at the same time. Lady Rebel, we went a little cray-cray yesterday. 2 pumpkin pies, 2 pecan pies, coconut cream pie. I've not had one of those in forever. Sounds good. Lemon pie, chocolate pie, and apple crisp. Only 6 of us. What else? Stock market to close at 1 p.m. for weather? I think we're getting ready to turn the page, Mr. Mokel. Mallory is going to be 18 on Sunday. I guess, Spicy, we're going to have to celebrate mañana. No, all right, let's get a kick out of this one. Stock market's supposed to close at 1 today because of the weather. $1 today because of the weather. Wall Street. Most of the traders aren't there. It's pretty much just computers. They don't need to be there. The stock market can open with nobody being there. But they're going to close because of the weather. I don't know about you guys, but I'm calling BS on that. Let's see. We have a Land Rover and always have a quart of Lucas stop leak in the back. You have to. unless you have the Defender, the P90 or whatever Defender. Land Rover, the only really solid vehicle I think they ever made. I know I'm opinionated. Exactly. BS. Island Till, you get it. The math doesn't add up. Let's see. Morning all, had our first Thanksgiving at my daughter's new house. Fun living with 3 20-something kids. Canasta, Scrabble, poker, and too much food. Oh, that sounds blessing. Yeah, I'm with you. And See, Kukla, you're right there in Chicago. We're going to need you to bounce down to the Mercantile and find out what's really going on. I love that. My family had a choice of corn or green beans yesterday. Everybody screamed corn for Mark. Woo! Yeah, Land Rovers on nickel and dime you. They are pretty cool, though, guys. They are pretty cool. Shet said, with a real heavy heart, we lost brother Brian DePaul on Thanksgiving Eve. Oh, that is so sad. Prayers for his wife, children, and siblings. What a shocker. Prayers of comfort for you guys. Turbo cancer from jabs. Told no one. Yeah, roughly a late 30s, 40-ish, and a friend of a friend, turbo cancer, found out a couple of weeks ago. Pancreatic cancer. Young lady. Well, I say young lady, but just devastating. All right, guys. We do have Militia Man joining. I do want to take just a brief moment. Condolences and prayers and thoughts to memorialize Miss Sarah Beckstrom, the National Guard member, shot in D.C., died yesterday evening. And the second still fighting for his life. What a sad commentary, no matter what or your political beliefs. And if that doesn't make you sad, there is something morally wrong with you. Personal opinion. All right, guys. Out of Iraq, it'll be interesting to see what the guy in the background is following. Some of the things I'm following is Trump over Thanksgiving holiday, taking the time to meet with MarkZ, the, what do we call him? The envoy to Iraq. Think about this. How many countries does Trump have to worry about? How many envoys, dignitaries, etc., from all over the world on a Thanksgiving weekend? But he's going to take the time to meet with one from Iraq or to Iraq. How many hundreds of countries out there? How many of them have a far bigger impact on our trade negotiations, from China to the EU to the UK to Russia, with everything that's going on? But he took special time out of his holiday over Thanksgiving to meet with the envoy to Iraq. Hopefully that means something. Another thing I saw in the news that I thought was of note, coming from the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, we are ready to provide support for efforts to protect critical infrastructure in Kurdistan, and we will continue to emphasize the importance of Iraq upholding its sovereignty in the face of attempts to undermine it, and ensuring all weapons, especially drones, missile shells, under state control. There was a attack over yesterday or day before on a facility in the Kurdish region. They got an envoy from Baghdad there now. Okay, now we got to bring in this guy.
Hey, good morning, Mark. How are you? Fine day.
It's a great day. Lots going on. Lots of pieces around the world all coming together at one time.
Yeah. I just, as you know, time zones. So I did happen to look at that envoy talk with Mr. President here in the United States. And we all know that the United States has assets in the country and in the Kurdistan region. And so making sure that we have security and stability at all times. And now he's sounds like we're pushing pushing that limit to, like, hey, we're not going to play games. And so I think that's the message that they get, especially now, hopefully it works out. I think it will. I think it'll take its course. There's been a lot of actions behind the scenes, and I think that's even goes back to the banking system. They've been isolating I believe it to be the PMF, and they've been doing it now for a couple of years, actually, trying to focus in on that. And so now it's like push come to shove. That's where it's at. So I think it'll be taken care of and handled, because of that world's largest consulate is, I think, opened in the Kurdistan region. Yeah, so that's big. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I'm glad to be able to make it here this morning. I had a great day. Hope you did, Mark. Great. Hey, some of the things that we've been seeing is I've been focusing on this kind of the hush tell of what the central banks have been doing in the background, and that's not just about Iraq. It's always been seemingly, come on, Iraq, push the button. And yeah, effectively, I fell into that as many years ago. But subsequently in the last few years, I've been thinking, well, hold on. There's going to be an interconnectivity issue that has to be done. And that's this whole design that even the good Dr. Shabibi had talked about, is that there's going to be some news and propaganda and stuff like that utilized. And we saw that in some of these articles. But if you break down some of these articles, you're going to find that what they mean is they're talking about the parallel market. And the parallel market's getting squeezed hardcore. My view is that the parallel market is basically almost non-existent right now. I think it's not openly publicly stated in articles, but I think the data reads, if you pay close enough attention, that parallel market is only at about 5%. So it's about 1310 to 1315. And so basically what we're seeing is, what I think I'm seeing is that they've been getting squeezed. And what you'll see is that the reason why is that they were getting 1450 and 1460 and stuff like that, but they're not getting that anymore because they know that the parallel market's going away. And so that's a really good sign. And then another thing is that what we tie in is the Iraq is going to be utilizing foreign trade, and obviously we can have connections. And when we talked about this before, is that the oil that's going out of Cyan is effectively a Euro trade, and it circumvents Russia. But that is going to increase, and they're talking about that somewhat quietly, that they're starting to get gear up for increasing. And they did tell us that they had an estimated move from the 230 to the 450, which they normally have in the past years ago. They're going to go to 1.2 or 1.5 and then on up to 2.2 million barrels a day. And that is going to be what I called it, or what is called is that stability, because the connection between the Arab League, which was an article out this morning, is talking about the connection to Iraq and the banks in the Arab League. But they quietly are talking about that because it's no fanfare, any of that. But that is a connection through the AAD in Iraq. Part of the Arab League is a derivative of the special drawing rights of the IMF. And that's stability. And we saw that other stability coming from the JICA or the FCC from the Asian trade through Japan. And we have all these interconnections. And so all of these things, and again, we're still going to be doing the US dollar effectively, but they might be in a different way that people really believe or even really know yet. But that's still going to be stability because all these currencies are related to the AED, for instance, is related to the SDR basket. And that SDR basket is 5 currencies. And those 5 currencies are all invested in Iraq, all of them. And so when they're doing trade, that's going to be, if they do a managed flow, which I believe that's what they've said they're going to do, when it makes the total sense, which I've been talking about for more than 5 or 10, almost probably 10 years. But doesn't matter. That's effectively what they're going to do. And so today we see that article that it's like the final, hey, job well done. We're all on board. And quietly, that's almost like a done thing. And then there's the article that talks about the 2 last steps, the backbone from the central bank. You know, that the central bank has really been communicating globally, but yet quietly, and rightfully so, because they don't need speculation, they don't need manipulation, they don't want arbitrage and all that good stuff that comes with the risks. And so they have to keep the people a little bit educated, but they got to keep them on their back foot a little bit too at the same time. So I think that's what's going on in brief this morning.
Well, like in short, and then backing up, and you'd pointed out with the article talking about it and the rates, and then that basket of 5, and then a managed float, guys. That is exactly what Kuwait did.
Yeah.
I mean, that is exactly what they did.
So, hey, and that's why this month and into next month, obviously they can't tell you what day they're going to do it, what time they're going to do it. So, but the implications is like, Mark, I think you know as well as I do that markets are emotional, right? So like every day that goes by, I don't know what the gold price is today, but we know that it was about 41.70 on Friday or 41.50.
Let's just say they're losing a handle on that market. And I know, like, you used to be kind of in the industry. You've had Andy join you guys,
Yeah.
and talk about that. But you're looking at gold 41.93. Silver has slipped the yoke and shot up to 55, even after a massive attempt to suppress the value in the wee hours. And it wasn't even close to enough. People demanding physical deliveries. I mean, we're watching it.
Yeah, it's very impressive. And think about it this way, everybody, is that every $20, every $15, every $100, having a move in the gold market $100 a day is not uncommon when it gets moving. And 95, they literally, central banks or World Gold Council, I believe, whatever the estimates, it's easy to find. About 95%, they had 1,000 tons in a year's period. Central banks collectively, they're going to do 95% of that again before the end of the year. So you can go, well, when central banks are buying gold like that, it's great. So people should understand that there's big moves coming for a reason. And so me being a gold bug back in 20 years ago, and when I said 1350 and I saw it go to almost $2,000, I said, well, I got that one wrong. Oh, well, I go, oh, well, yeah. And so I'm going to say the same thing when it comes to the dinar. I'm going to say, well, oh, well, it is what it is. We all know what we own, but I was back to the gold. Iraq has put in 8.2 tons, maybe more. They haven't even exposed it yet because the end of the year is not up. And they lag telling you that, and they do it on a regular basis. They're usually 3 to 6 months. They're known for being late to the World Gold Council and reporting their total gold. But that gold price supports the value of their currency. Those the reserves, the foreign reserves that they have, which is blended with oil and all the different things, is pushing 116 billion. And they only talk about 100. Well, it's really a lot more than that when it comes right down to it. So that's one of that connectivity to the AAD. So they have huge reserves on gold, foreign reserves. They have the oil value, and they also have the that connectivity with other countries and that non-oil revenue stream. They don't talk about it as much, but that is where this is coming from. So all that oil that's going out, effectively, in some cases, in the natural gas is non-oil revenue. So they're padding every day. They're padding their reserves because they're not even taking they're not getting all that gas purchases from Iran anymore. They've cut that back from, I think, 5 billion down to 1 billion for 1 year. And so that is reserves. It just goes into the reserves. And the ICE Cutta system. That system is designed specifically to bring in revenue streams and cut out the middleman. Hence, you probably see that there was an attack on that oil because they're getting pinched. They don't have the income. They were on the gravy train stealing for 20 years. And so there's going to be some blowback, and we probably saw a little bit of it, but obviously it's not going to be tolerated. That's how I look at it.
Oh, it's and one of those things from last week was them in my account. If you are in the Kurdish region or whatever, because they had so many problems with grift, where they were claiming they were these people that didn't actually exist on the rolls, so they were making them go through the process and re-sign.
Exactly.
I mean, just a massive cleanup on those public rolls.
Yeah, there was ghost employees, 5 at a time. It's like,
right.
Yeah, it wasn't just 1 or 2 on people's books. It was like they're using like 5 or more. Yeah. So
now it was crazy when I saw the math because it was like almost 30% of the people that were on those payroll didn't exist.
I know.
I mean, that was like crazy watching that cleanup.
Well, and that parallel market is I guess the bleed is probably between 10 and 20 billion a year. Think about it. If they cut that off like that, I mean, oh boy, how much money this country is going to have.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, so fascinating.
Yeah, just going back to, and then you're talking about with the gold purchases. They told us they're going to be at 170 tons at the end of this year. My guess is there's probably considerably larger buffer in there that they just aren't talking about because most people don't realize Iraq does produce gold as well in the country. That doesn't show on their books anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. If you remember, I remember back, I think, probably back well before 2016, I think there was a conference that was in Canada. And the guy said to the commentator, she says, the real money it's in gold because they have like 10 or 15 million ounces outside of Baghdad, which is very shallow gold, which is really far more inexpensive to be able to mine. And it's not deep. And they they don't tell you how much they have. They just don't. So, but they have a lot. They have a lot. I guess if you just really tie it in, you guys, everybody.
I mean,
Iraq can support their real effective exchange rate, and it should be really competitive to the neighbors, and that's to the article today. Those neighbors, probably have some sort of an agreement, approximately already probably have an idea where Iraq's going to be placed in that, and it'll be competitive with trading partners. That's my view.
Yeah, think about that just even at 10 million ounces or whatever, that's roughly a little over 300 tons or so of gold. Think about what that means for Iraq. Between what they already have in gold in the bank or in the vault, I mean, just that is probably 60% of their currency they can back in physical gold. That's like, wow.
Yeah. And then that doesn't even include all the sulfur and all the silica and phosphates. So this is a big deal that we're witnessing, and we're just part of it, and it's really fascinating to watch it. I mean, I'm really pumped about this. It's good.
No, I am too. Anything else you want to share this morning before you go off with your weekend?
I'm just going to do a video this afternoon. I'm going to probably do it early because it's still a lot of meet and greet for the holiday, which is today on Friday. And I have a young lady that was my wife, homeschooled, raised kids, neighbors, and one of them has a new baby, and I haven't seen the baby yet, so we're going to go over and visit that this afternoon. So that's going to be fun. And I'll do a video for everybody, and enjoy your day, and we'll see you guys this evening.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough for popping in on us, Militia Man. And folks, again, he's doing a video releasing over at Militia Man and Crew this evening at some point. My guess is don't know time yet. Depends on when he's done.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, I don't keep too many schedules. People probably just go, can't he just do it at 3:00 every time? I wish I could, you guys, but it's tough doing all the stuff that we do. But anyway, thank you for you guys being with me at patreon.com, Militia Man and Crew. We have a wonderful Discord chat room. I think you guys all know that by now. And if you don't, everybody's welcome, just like Mark welcomes me to come in and give him my opinions. And that's what I do. So,
yeah, always.
I'll be in touch, or you be in touch with me anytime. You know that.
Or both.
Right on.
All right. Take care.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Have a great day.
You too. Guys, Militia Man and Crew joining. Always excited about that one, just to get that outside perspective. And it's so important because it's it's the articles, it's the government documents. These are the ones that you can, when you're getting beat on by your neighbors and whoever else or family, this is what you share. You share the links to those things. So, do your own, just because they're mentally lazy doesn't mean you have to be mentally lazy. So very excited about that one. Hold on, guys. I need to a couple of very quick ones. We'll see what Mr. C. I know I'd kept it pretty short. The passing of our National Guard member. Trump is set to pause immigration from third world countries. This has happened many, many times in American history. This is not unusual when we have had too much immigration. We can go and we can find a number of presidents that have done that. So before they start with the authoritarian, crazy Nazism, whatever painting that the mainstream press will attempt to do, they should pick up a history book. Massive Somali welfare fraud cases in Minnesota. That will be in links too. Like many different schemes, hundreds and hundreds of millions, nay, billions of dollars been out of the system in Minnesota. It's all coming out, guys. White House tells her, oh, yeah, that's another one on the National Guard loss. The White House handling it exactly the way you should when they tried to virtue signal on this and say if the National Guard had not been in D.C., they never would have got shot, you know, and ICE wouldn't be rounding up immigrants if we hadn't opened the border. Right? What else? Can we keep going on this one? We wouldn't have a national debt if we didn't overspend. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on with this logic flaw here. And then one last one, and then we're going to Mr. C. Caught on hidden camera, the U.S. Government Accountability Office director admits, yep, their staff stole and backed up vaccine data allegedly deleted by RFK's Junior's Health and Human Services. All that authoritarian overreach where they were collecting data that they are legally and constitutionally not supposed to. You know, that stuff that they were forcing to be wiped to fix the ill. Oh, your government wanted to illegally hang on to it, or people within your government. I know it's a shocker. I just find the hypocrisy here to be a lot of fun, because all of the left, the same left backing up all this data, stealing this data, this is the same left that was screaming that Doge might do that in their effort to clean up corruption, that they may be collecting information like that, saving illegal data, stuff like that. And lo and behold, yep, usually when they're screaming, it's because they're guilty. Duh, doesn't surprise me at all. All right, let's get to Mr. C quickly here. Now we'll be ready. Hold on. Getting everything set for the Mr. Cottrell Codeman Friday. Yeah, I'm still looking to see where this Sedition 6 installment blaming Trump for Afghani traveling across the country and shooting to. Yeah. It's like special. Oh, did you guys see the drop on Smartmatic in Venezuela that is hit in the news? Another fun thing to talk about. No fun banker updates, no fun bond updates. My bankers, wealth management folks, or folks that specifically have trained for redeeming foreign currencies, guys, they are not working this weekend. So for me, I'm not looking on any Hail Marys this weekend. I am looking for something soon. Let's see. Probably nothing burger. Yeah, you would be correct on the Omega News. I don't have anything fun or interesting on that front. We did last week have one person in upline reach out to somebody further down and saying, hey, need to verify an address. It appears you've moved. Thought that one was interesting because that means somebody is indeed keeping up out there. And again, Danny, well, I think I already told you that. No bond updates. Hello, Mr. C.
Good morning, Mark. How are you today?
I am pretty good. Let's get you louder.
Okay.
All right. Now I think I got you now. That was on my side.
Okay, great. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know we did. So it was pretty good.
Did you eat too much?
A little bit, I must say. But I'm doing okay today. So anyway, there are a couple things I'd like to address.
Okay.
First off, thank you, Lyman. I do appreciate comments and contributions, etc. The second thing is, I know we've had a couple of book orders, big ones, and unfortunately we ran out of ink. And it's taken us over a week to get the ink. It's finally coming in today. So they'll be coming out shortly. The third thing that I'd like to discuss is I've noticed the trolls have been having somewhat of a field day on the fact that I am not producing anything that's really real or relevant. And I'd like to go through something I just found 2 days ago, which surprised the heck out of me. During the 2006, 9, 8, 9, 10, whatever, there was so much stuff coming in from Chris Story and everybody else that I would log it and I would say, okay, that's great. Did it happen? No. Okay, fine. We move on. However, there is something that came out which is now bona fide. This goes back to April 2009, April 1st. I'm going to read something here. Hopefully it won't be too long. April 1st, Bill Bonney called advising that the MI9, which is the Queen's service, at a special meeting with Queen Elizabeth last night. Dana Wilcox had called me that afternoon, advising that his name or my name was mentioned during a certain meeting with the Queen. Bill informed me that later that the increasing pressure to release the payments was a specific reason for the special meeting with the Queen. Now I'm going to jump forward to April 11th, which is where it gets really interesting. Chris called me on April 11th, advising me that a letter as a direct result of the April 1st meeting will be posted to me as a, quote, proper legal letter recommendation, unquote, from Her Majesty regarding the latest affidavit submitted to Her Majesty the Queen for a loan of $6.2 trillion to refund the US dollar from the United Kingdom. President Obama was informed of this plan via the April 1st special meeting, via the Queen herself, and Chris published the process and ramifications of said meeting in his April 14th publication called Obama Prefers Trashettes Over Debt-Free Solution. Now, in the book, I'm taking some special point of noting out some things that readers may not totally understand because I'm using a lot of technical language. So I put in here notes. The reason the above call and special meeting is significant is the want of settlement was based on the profits from the forfeiting platforms using the assets secured by Bush Sr. et al. Via Citibank Singapore. These profits funded projects for the G7 and the Bush-Cheney, quote, enterprise operations, i.e. the Amber Haven Limited, Switzerland, Americhina Global Management Group, Ameritrust Swiss, Switzerland, Ameritrust Corporation, Switzerland, and there's more than 30 of them, which is why Bush Sr. believed the funds belonged to him. When Bush Sr., quote, killed off, unquote, Ali Kwok in 1992, the Chinese placed Leo's profits on a, quote, off-balance sheet chip operation, unquote, which had to be repatriated to the U.S. on balance sheet payments, with U.S. taxes paid at the time of receipt by Leo. As I've described in the book, non-payment of these funds was due to the Bush Sr. and Senior NW and Obama administrations' deliberate efforts to hide the source of funds. Interestingly, these funds also included gold and funds stolen from Queen Elizabeth II. The acknowledgement of the source of these funds would lead to the actual arrest and imprisonment of many high-level officials and leaders, including sitting presidents of many nations. When I submitted affidavits to Her Majesty in 2008, they were redirected to 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister's office, by MI5. It was when I submitted the affidavit for 3 March 2009 that the Queen actually read the documents due to the primary resolute denial to return the Queen's gold and funds. The affidavit specifically asked for a loan of $6.2 trillion to accomplish a US dollar refunding and the return of the Queen's assets. This affidavit specifically specified that the operation would be located and operated from the London-based securities accounts under the control of Pennsylvania Investments Inc. / Michael C. Cottrell and Dana V. Wilcox. Given that my master's degree thesis, Elite Power and Capital Markets, and my due diligence was received and reviewed, and Dana's previous acknowledged activities with Owen Metals, Delmarva Timber Trust, et al., satisfied the Queen and her advisors that this was the only way the recovery could take place without constraints or intervention of the Bushes and the Obama administrations. The end result would be the funds would be placed on the US and UK taxable sheets with no debt on the books to be paid back. The 3 March 2009 affidavit also explained and illustrated the mortgage-backed securities, collaterals, debt securities, flowchart, and scam, the institutional sale and resale of derivative instruments, flowchart, the Secretary of Treasury's Paulson's Treasury/TARP trading platform scam, and the Geithner Treasury funding plan. This plan was urged by Chris Story, who, by the way, was the financial advisor for Margaret Thatcher, so he had credibility, and other monarchy advisors who were totally frustrated with the years of process to accomplish the recovery of the assets of the Queen. An additional element had been introduced in 2007 when Bush Sr. stole all the G7 funds derived from the Chiang Kai-shek previous precious metals forfeiting approved by the World Court. Thus, the plan I proposed was reviewed and adopted by the G7 and the G20 to recover the stolen court-approved assets. Now, the upshot of all this is that is how I got into the gold treaty, because these plans and proposals I had submitted to the Queen was adopted by everybody around the world to make sure they got their money back. We're talking thousands of trillions of dollars. And I hope that satisfies some, and I'm sorry if that's a long history lesson.
No, we need more of the long history lessons. While you may not have much current news hitting us, those history lessons are so important.
I was actually shocked by this because, Chris released this in a 45-page document, and it came over the computer, and I said, well, it's nice. I scanned through it. It did not dawn on me that they actually had the meeting and approved the loan to me. Now, this is separate from the money to Leo, and it's separate from the money that was stolen from the G7. So it's very, very interesting. But again, they could not show the source of funds, and they still can't. That's why they're still fighting.
True. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I guess the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is claiming they had a fire overnight and they can't trade futures today. They had shut down. Originally, it's my understanding they had started up no problems. But there was a massive problem on trading anything on the derivatives, with over 90% of derivatives in the world traded in Chicago. I found that one very interesting. I guess rather than saying there was a problem with the derivatives, the derivative computer, or any of that, now it's a fire and the whole CME is shut down. I mean, I don't have the details, guys, so I can't share exacts on that one, but it is suspicious. Somebody posted that they always only open for half a day on Black Friday on the stock market.
Well,
I didn't know that.
That's the NYSE. We're talking about the mercantile.
Yeah, totally different.
Which trades derivatives. Derivatives have no value. That is the major fraud. That's why we have a refund of funds coming from the IRS, because it's based on fraud. That's why there has to be a debt jubilee, because all the banks are based on derivatives and based on fraud. Paulson tried a Chinese auction, if you recall, and they found that they weren't even 2 cents a piece. No value whatever, because they're just mishmash. That is why the Queen could never recover her money. That is why the world's economies were faltering, and still are, because it's based upon a major fraud produced by Bush Sr., W. and Cheney, and Paulson, and Greenspan. They covered the world with these frauds of derivatives that they had to buy. They sold them very expensively, but they weren't worth anything. So for the mercantile to say, gee, we can't trade them, tells you something that's in the making. And that is probably going to happen very soon, in that we're going to have the RV very, very soon.
That's the short of it. It's one of those where you can't play with these fundamentals anymore. There's no place left to play.
There's no money.
Roy, the stock exchange closes early because most of the board of directors have to go shop the Walmart Black Friday sales. Yeah, I mean, the Bush family is actually the Scherfs. Don't even get Mr. C started on the Bush Senior camp or tirade, although it's awfully fun.
It really is. It's unfortunately very tragic for my family. I lost my son and my daughter-in-law, and almost my marriage, and my older daughter's mental stability is gone because of what what Bush Sr. did to me. So it's not fun.
Yeah, get some of these. I'm seeing questions that you've answered probably 500 times, but and Mr. C's not afraid to tell you what he thinks, whether you agree or disagree. Somebody asking your opinion on the Anavan rights or the American state national movement, and whether they're claiming they gained control over the republic a week or 2 weeks ago, and they're not going to have access to the Saint Germain, or at least that's the short, guys. I don't have the details.
That's bullshit, because the Saint Germain is now part of the Gold Treaty, and she has no authority to say that.
Yeah,
standing, whatever.
I have no details on that, so I couldn't. So guys, I could not knowingly.
Interpol told her when she started to attack me back in the early 2000s. Interpol sat her down and told her with a bear sat in the woods to be relatively clean about it.
Bud with a question, Mr. C. I read an article that claims ISO 20022 removes all debt. Your thoughts? I'm not seeing that article. To me, it's just a messaging system, but your thoughts, Mr. C?
By whose authority? And what did they replace it with? Now, it's one thing to say all debt's gone, but if you're still dealing with fiat money, it's BS, because you still have debt, because derivatives still are the basis for all debt. Until derivatives are gone and replaced by something more solid like a gold-backed currency, it's all BS and hot air.
Kate Turtle, Mr. C, you probably going to know this way better than me. Kate Turk saying my credit union is closed today without prior notice and my paycheck is pending. It's usually deposits on a Thursday, but I understand it being closed on Thanksgiving. I didn't think they could legally close 2 days in 1 week like that. So I don't know anybody in here in the industry that can knowingly. Is credit union different than a bank? Because after 1929, they placed all kinds of, but then with the savings and loan changes in the 80s, 90s, I thought they now operated on the same restrictions as a bank.
Now, they can close because of the holiday, but the primary reason because of all this is a shortage of cash. Even the major banks, the funding banks, have a shortage of cash.
Yeah, AP, and I thought the same thing. Just said if they normally close the stock exchange earlier on Black Fridays, why announce it's closing early due to weather today? Yeah, that's what I thought when I heard it. I was like, doesn't make much sense, but all right, whatever.
What we're seeing is the creep up of the uneducated into the ranks of the seniority of the various marketplaces.
A lot of folks in here thanking you for all you do.
I just fight. I'm just a fighter, nothing more.
John asking if the Saint Germain's alive today. I very much believe the Saint Germain is real and alive. I don't know if I agree with the number of zeros in it, but I agree it is enormous, it is huge, and it is real. But somebody asking your thoughts if it's still alive today.
It is part and parcel to the protocols of the Gold Treaty, and yes, and that was verified by Interpol. They arranged all the major fundings to be under one umbrella, so nobody could recapitalize the rats, which they're known to do. So yes, it is real.
Blissful, this is part of why I hear, oh, we're closing or whatever. It's all 24 hours now. It's computers and everything else. Just said my railroad pension was deposited today into my credit union account, and they're closed today. That's when I see this. Well, the bank's closed for this. You can't get your money because of that. I'm like, that's all BS. It's all computerized done. They don't need a human being to be there. It's all part of the new system. It's all becoming part of the new quantum system / ledger system. So when I see some of these stories, I'm like, they just doesn't.
What's happening is the banks, because of the SIPS program and the instantaneous delivery and receipt of funds, they're using it as a float. They're going back to the old SWIFT operation of floating your money. So they slow things down. They take 3 or 4 days, even in internal bank transfers from one account to another. They're taking 3 days. They're using the floats. That's a simple situation right there.
Dave, with a better explanation, ISO 20022 is a new type of forensic accounting system to send funds. They must enter a lot of info before hand traceability. SWIFT just used to say info on file, no tracking. and it's faster, and it requires more controls and guardrails. Unlike the Swift system where you send something and for 4 or 5 days, you pray as it bounces around the world that it actually makes it there. Can't tell you how many times in international business we've had to track down Swifts that just disappear or never show up. Oh, well, it disappeared somewhere in France.
Excuse me. It's the same game, different tactic.
Yes. Thanks. Crooks using your funds, but you can't touch it till they say so. That's exactly what they do.
And that's why the QFS system has to be in place.
Or my daughter works for a credit union. She had to take a vacation day in Florida in order to be able to have the day off because they had to work. Yeah, I'm really surprised on that one. I'd have to do some research on that one because I thought it was a certain number of days in the year, but a certain number of days in a row that they were allowed to be closed.
Yeah, correct. That would cause a run if they close longer than, I think it's 3 days.
I think it's 3 days.
2 hours.
I think it's 3 consecutive days though.
Yeah.
So maybe perhaps the credit union is going to be open part of a day tomorrow, and boom, that gets them out of it.
Yep.
I mean, theoretically, they could only be open an hour.
And that's long enough. That qualifies.
I would think so. Yeah, Barry, I know the shelf behind me, devil's ears, cat's ears, because the shelf has cat's ears. I've caught that a number of times when my head's at an angle. Look, I'm a furry. I'm going to need a litter box in here, folks. Jason Hoover, I tell you, Mr. C, I don't know if you've been keeping up with any of the Marjorie Taylor Greene fallout in the Republican Party. The Jason saying MTG is correct. No one's coming to save us. Both sides are corrupt. I very much agree with that one. I believe Trump's a little different in that one, but I don't trust the GOP. I don't trust the DNC. I just don't. There are too many. I trust far more in the RNC than I do in the DNC. But there are too many Lindsey Grahams, Mitch McConnells, Mitt Romneys. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on before I'm going to ever trust the RNC again.
If you want to get some real background on what's going on, the Parthenon group and also Hanson have 2 great YouTube
Victor Hanson
conversations. Yeah.
Oh,
He's got
unreal.
A great one on that.
Oh,
Great one. And it makes a lot of sense.
yeah. I mean, silver today at I mean, it's starting to knock on $56 an ounce.
Yes.
I believe we are this close to the free market forcing this or the controlled demolition, one or the two.
And that's really what the gold treaty basically is about. The market itself is going to force the issue of the turnover from fiat to gold back, because as we can see, there's no credibility in fiat, and even though the what do I call it? The rat operations out of Europe are forcing maintaining the fiat system. It is going down. It's slowly sinking below the waves.
And you just touched on something I keep telling folks. There's a couple ways we can do this. They can do it the nice way and reset, or the market is going to force it. It's going to leave 0 options. And I have very much believed from the beginning that things like SIPs, BRICS, these central banks buying gold, all of these steps, messaging 20022, all these are steps that force it to go that direction, whether it wants to or not, because they would hang on to this gig as long as they could, getting to print free money that doesn't exist, print themselves a couple extra billion, release it to their best buddies. I mean, this corruptions gig they got going, I mean, that is like world-class good stuff for them. Just bad for the rest of the world.
That's why I'm encouraged with what Trump is doing. He is doing the protocols of the surrogacy and step-by-step basis. And the main one, which was developed by Bush Sr., is the drug intake to the United States, the drug cartels. That was just equal to process to create off-balance sheet monies and take it and hide it away. And Trump is taking that down. And when he takes down the Venezuelan government. That's where we're going to see a lot of the other governments fold with regard to drug money. And then we're going to see the forcefulness of the RV itself coming in. I think we're within maybe 40, 50 days of that happening.
I tend to agree with your thinking. Stephanie, I didn't leave the Republican Party in 2014. They left me. I was secretary of my district and delegate to the Alaska Republican Convention in 2012. Never had seen so much corruption in my face. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's parties are abandoning the people. The people aren't abandoning the parties.
I have recently been in a big fight with the RNC. They asked for money to fill out surveys, give my opinion, but at the same time, you have to donate. I said, look, I'm not going to pay to play. That's the Clinton Bush Senior program. I'm not going to do it. And if you don't like that, tough. Too bad. Go away. They keep coming back, and I keep giving them a big 72 font. I will not pay to play.
Not going to happen. Golfer in Savannah, what happened to the auditing the Fed, Fort Knox, the Treasury?
They're broke. There's no gold.
That
gold's been gone.
We have to stop expecting our politicians. They give us the fun sound bites. We're all whipped up. They say, yeah, let's do that. And then they do nothing. We've got to force them through a much better system to hold them accountable. I don't mean we're going to show up. We're going to do anything violent. Nothing like that, guys. I'm talking about petitions, voting, really getting involved in local politics. That's how you change your elections. That's how you make certain that Smartmatic, Dominion, any of those that you think might be questionable don't have an effect, because you have so many checks and balances that there is transparency. That's how we do this thing. We got to stop expecting some horse, knight on in shining armor on a white horse to come rescue us.
The G7 and China tried to force, even having somebody inside the Treasury to audit the Fed Reserve books. They can never get it done because that's where it's all hidden. The major fraud is just incredible. And until we force that issue, we're not going to see it on a quote unquote voluntary basis. What we're really going to have to do is, through the BRICS, is force the non-use of fiat dollars.
Farmer V, when's Iraq visiting Trump again? I believe that they are here between the 2nd or 3rd of December and the 5th. At least that was my last update. I haven't seen that expressly in any news article in a week, almost a week and a half from when they talked about the next sit down with them.
I don't know.
Andy's saying Trump just announced zero income tax or close is planned for the next few years.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Pam Keir asked about Trader 6. They are scared because they have committed a seditionist act against the UCMJ. It's now coming out. And I think by December 10th, we're going to find out what the ultimate act is going to be, because Pentagon is reviewing those actions with regard to the legal status of the UCMJ. And they're scared of being picked up.
I think they are. Let's see. Hugh Woman, today's mainstream news is the same old bovine scatology, just different flies. No, I look at that one. I look at the Republican Party now, unfortunately, and I look at, or even like Fox News. All it was a different flavor of crap sweetened with a little bit of sugar, and they painted it to look like an apple.
Yeah. Well, if you look at who owns Fox News, he is known to be part of the Soros operation with Maxwell and the rest of them from Australia. That's where he's from. So it's not surprising.
Yeah. I guess I figured that one out before most people figured that one out. Although plenty of people have now figured it out since. I mean, but it's funny. I mean, it's great marketing. Conservatives don't feel like their voice, so you give them a kind of voice. Now they're all excited because they feel like they finally have a news channel you can count on. It's controlled opposition. I mean, do you have some people that come through that machine that are top notch? I mean, think about some of the cool ones we've had roll through there, or in my opinion, from the outside, Glenn Beck. Yeah, I didn't even mind Bill O'Reilly. I think some of the ones that have come out there, Gutfield, Jesse Waters, you've had some that have come through it, but most of them don't stay. Most of them figure it out that they're just controlled opposition and then step away. Tucker Carlson.
I'm amazed at O'Reilly's change of direction. He used to be a totally opposite, almost a Trump hater, and now he's supporting him 110%. It's unreal.
It's because his eyes, when they threw him under the table, because he started thinking and they threw him under the table, the mainstream conservatives, or should I say the rhinos, threw him under the table. He's like, wait a minute, why did they throw me under the table? And he started doing the math. He's like, oh, not that I agree 100% with anybody out there. It's just I think we should always think, question. But if I agree with somebody 90% of the time, that's a slam dunk. You do not have to agree with somebody 100% of the time to follow them. I don't agree with, I mean, just think about this. When some of the greatest quotes out there are going to be from like Marx and some real radicals out there, but there's certain statements or things where very enlightened that they think about. Doesn't mean I agree with their overall ideology, just means on 1 or 2 points it makes sense.
John Torres asked, is there a place for BTC under the new system? Well, QFS has got BTC in it, so I don't think it's going to go away.
I don't think it's going to me. It serves a necessary purpose. And when something serves a necessary purpose, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I think the person that really, and it was totally unrelated or whatever, they were talking about, I forget, aquaponics, pod houses, something. It was some podcast many years ago with Elon Musk and his brother. And this was in the early days of crypto and things. And after he'd sold PayPal, and he had made that comment about certain things in the market and efficiencies with some of these cryptos. That, no, they're not going anywhere. I don't like them, but they serve a necessary purpose. And then I started thinking about, that's how I started thinking about everything from crypto to ledgers to the asset back ones and different. A lot of meme coins, they serve no purpose. They're going away. Ones that serve a purpose or a technology that they can use, whether that's file storage, whether that's a easier ledger system like XRP to move money and track it, those all make sense. Theta makes tremendous sense because it decentralizes web, takes control away from the government. Anything that makes sense, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. We'll keep it. The rest of it, the market's going to get rid of over time.
The other thing you have to look at is the fiat debanking weaponry. And they do that against Trump and his companies. And this allows a standalone system. Although I don't entirely understand it, nor can I use it, but I do understand why it's there. Mm-hmm. The corporation tries to control you with its fiat money. That's why it has to go to the QFS.
Makes total sense to me. All right, Mr. C, we are at that time. Anything you want to share in closing?
That's good because I'm losing my voice.
Good timing.
Closing. Yeah, really. I appreciate the opportunity. I thank everyone for their comments and questions, even if they are derogatory. That's okay. I hope you believe, you question everything and check out what you question, and then make sure that you understand why you believe or disbelieve. But other than that, I thank you very much, and I hope, like heck, they show up between now and next Tuesday. Would be great. I think the odds are pretty good, so we will see.
I agree.
I'll see you next week.
Take care, Mr. C.
You too. Bye now.
The original and only code man out there. I mean, there are going to be other people codes, other people that do necessary things, and some of them you guys like, and me too. Some of them people think have a bigger role than they do. Some have a smaller role. We'll find out. There's only one way to find out who all was good and bad, and that's to look back in the rearview mirror after we finish. All right. Now, for those, I should probably sing a happy birthday. I'll get Matt to hum along or something.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? Woo.
Oh, fantastic. All right. I do need to do that birthday thing. And I don't know if you found a Lucas in there, but then we will jump right into specials. Guys, for those that don't know, CBD Gurus are the greatest and best sponsor in the history of sponsors and help been a huge part of our community. And that's who's going to be joining us after this. They make so many more podcasts a week possible. All right. Now that I've done that, shameless plug for you, Matt, let me do birthdays very quickly. Maria, Steve, Kathy, Tegan, Harley, Bob, and Cole. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating, Robert Patterson, the original MarkZ at gmail.com. Super stupid, simple to remember. All right, Matt, what you got for us? I think he was on the phone harassing Lucas to get in here. Hey, Lucas.
Hey, good morning, sir.
How was Turkey Day? Did you gobble?
No, well, I mean, I smoked a chicken. Does that count?
Sure. One of y'all's chickens?
Yep.
Really? I
Did one
didn't
of
know
our
with the move,
chickens.
if you had those things set up, if you didn't have those set up, if you had some new chickens.
No, we got new ones. We gave our old ones to some friends because it was. I mean, we had what was it, 39 at the end.
Wow.
So gave those, and then we got some starters, some meat pens, and then after that, then we have probably, I don't know, 70 chicks right now.
What variety of meat hen did you raise?
I mean, we're just using these Orpingtons, and I say meat, they're not really, but they put out pretty good. I mean, the Orpingtons get pretty big. Those are the kind of the ones that I've always, it turned out well.
I need to start raising some. I need to do that. I need to get better. Anyways, Matt, you want to tell us how to get to specials and stuff before we fall into finding out what everybody had and ate? Matt's muted.
Hey, Matt, you gotta take yourself off mute,
There we
big
go.
guy.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we go to thecbdgurus.com, thecbdgurus.com. And then you hit the wholesale button on top there. You go to MarkZ Wholesale. And if a box shows up there, you've got to put in lowercase KRAM CBD to get in the site. And then when you get in there, you just scroll down. And the special right now is buy many products, buy one, get one free. Okay? Yeah, we've never done that before, but that sounds fun. So get in there and order if you want it. Better get in there. And then you get any order gets 10 million Boulevard. I didn't want to leave the currency out. So any order, doesn't matter what size it is, get 10 million Boulevard. But we've got many products from the gummies to the oils to the mushrooms to the gummies, oils, mushrooms. We got the X-Freeze roll-on in there. Buy one, get one free. And so don't wait on that, because if we run out of some stuff, then we'll put out of stock. But we're stocked up pretty good. So
I mean, now we're really embracing this Black Friday. We're talking like BOGO, buy one, get one on a number of things.
Yeah, we got over 30 items in there today. Buy one, get one free. So, and that was that. So Lucas, he pushed for it, and I said, yeah, that sounds great. And so now we're all set. And you guys want to come in and stock up? Yep, get in there. And yeah, that's great, isn't it? Yeah, for sure.
Wait, Lucas, I'm guessing they didn't pass the approval past you on the BOGOs.
Well, I actually was talking to Matt, and he was like, well, let's do something. I was like, well, because normally 20% is kind of the max, right? That I think we've ever done, just because of how everything is. But I'm like, because on the BOGO, like the buy one get one, Matt's like, well, like like a good portion of the products go under, actual like what we're buying them for. And I was
Mhm.
like, true, but hey, it's one day, baby. And it's kind of what I told my daughter this morning. She's never experienced Black Friday.
Oh, geez.
And shopping, well, because a lot of it went away, right? And
Right.
so over the last couple of years, a lot of these stores have started going back to, hey, let's do Black Friday. We're open at 5 a.m. Yada yada yada. And so I was like, all right. She bugged me, and I was like, all right, I'll take you. So we went out at 5 a.m. and it was just crazy. I mean, just absolutely nuts. It was actually, what it was awesome is, it was great, especially after COVID. People started siloing and not going out as much, and it was cool to see everyone mingling and back at it. Just humanity as a whole. I actually enjoyed that piece of it, that connection. She had, we were out there for 3 hours, and then she was like, "Okay, Dad, this is a little too much." I
Wait,
was
wait,
like,
wait.
yeah.
So you've already survived 3 hours of Black Friday?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's already 11 o'clock. So yeah. We got back to
Wow.
the house about, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I'm good. I'm good for another year. So she got her experience. But yeah, anyway, like, that's the whole thing, is like, I told Matt, I was like, hey, you know what? You might as well. It's one day out of the year. Like let's just go crazy. I saw thing at oh gosh, whatever her store was. She wanted a sweater, and it was a buy one, BOGO,
Okay.
buy one get one free. And I was like, you know what, that'd be a good one. It's a fun one, right? I like
That's a
buying
fun one.
something and getting the exact same product for free.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. No, that's slang. And guys, think of it this way. Whatever you were going to order for yourself, if it's a BOGO, now you got one to stock somebody else's to stuff somebody else's stocking.
Gotta
Um,
love gotta love those stocking stuffers.
gotta love them. Gerald, it is 10 million on each order, not each item. Did I get that right, Matt?
Yep. And I think we had, I thought we had that in there, right? Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it says on all orders. So it's
Below,
the order, not each item.
yeah, on all
So
orders.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'd
So,
lose your butt on top of
but
what
that
you're
was,
already losing your butt selling at today.
yeah, that was a good try though, for sure. But nah, it's just on the whole order, you guys. So yeah, if we did that, then I'd have to hope for silver to go up $5 more today. I'm just kidding, Mark. We and Lucas were talking about that. Man, it's good. It's getting crazy.
Yep, no, that's going on. That's where Lucas was this morning, the after Thanksgiving Day sales, Black Friday. That's where he was at this morning.
That's right.
Oh, Flying Moose went Black Friday bourbon shopping this morning. Found one bottle he wanted. I didn't even know that was a thing, man. Where have I been at my whole life?
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah. I
mean,
mean,
I didn't even
there's
know
some
like
great
Black
one
Friday
for.
bourbon, Black Friday gummies.
You
Had
know,
no
Oh,
clue.
I mean, like I think I saw it today. Woodford, like I think it was Woodford Reserve, like Black Edition was like 45% off. Like normally 250, and I think it was like $140. I'm like, that's the cheapest I think I've ever seen. Some, a crazy expensive bottle like that. Like normally you don't see those drop, any. And it's like, wow, man, they're doing crazy sales on whiskey. But Mark, alcohol sales are down when you have hemp products, when you have THC
Sure.
products. I mean, they're saying like alcohol like has been decreasing 25-30% year over year for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty
they've seen
crazy.
a
We're now seeing
crazy drop.
the pharmaceutical companies in bed with the alcohol industry to try to keep us from having CBD and THC.
It's crazy. But yeah, to think that even alcohol sales, I mean, that was one thing that you always like, oh, it's always going to sell, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
all.
always, people are going to have to deal with life in one way, whether they're celebrating or they're commiserating or whatever it is. They're
Now
going to
there
partake.
and now there's other options.
Now there's other options, healthier options.
Exactly.
Happy birthday, Joni. Saw that one. Anything else, guys? You want to do any questions? You saving them for tomorrow? I know it's a Thanksgiving weekend. Are you guys going to be able to be here tomorrow?
I'll be there tomorrow for sure. 100%. I wouldn't. You know what? I mean, I was on last Saturday too, wasn't I?
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then afterwards, I went to the Packer game. I didn't mention it till, oh my God, that was a ball. Just a ball. Going to the Packer Stadium, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was,
Oh, wait, you went to the Packers Stadium? Did you go watch that game?
oh yeah, and the
The
crowd we were
Packers and
at was,
Lions?
yeah, no, it was not that game, but I
Oh,
watched
I was
it.
going to say, man, that one.
Oh, it was the Packers Vikings and yeah, I'm a Packer fan. I've always been a Packer fan. I've always been a Viking fan, but now I'm 100% Packers fan. And boy, it was just a panic. You know, it was really. If you ever get a chance, you got to go there. It's quite the experience. You know, it's like that Parsons says, hey, it's not owned by one rich guy. You know, Jerry Jones. It's owned by the community, and that's true. You know, I mean, how many guys get to play their pro football owned by the city or whatever it is? You know, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in the stadium around there, we were at a house party, and they give out 250 tickets, and it's really cool, you know. And people live in the house, and then half the house is built up for the party deal. It was a panic, man. It was a good time. It was such a good time that I was sound asleep by 4 in the afternoon, but then I woke back up at about 8 o'clock, ready to roll. So. Yeah, the game started at noon, but yeah, it was a good time. Great time. Yep. So that's right. I wasn't on there last week, Saturday, was I? I didn't go on the show.
Yeah, you were here last Saturday.
Was I?
Yeah, I can't imagine we did it without you. I'd have to go look, but you know, it's all starting to run together like whiskey over ice or like gravy over turkey.
I can't even remember. What the heck was I doing? I don't know. I don't know, man. I must have been out of it or something, man. It was a good time, though. You know what? Pittsburgh and Packers, that was both really, really good. Really good, yeah. So,
Jan's asking you a question there, Matt, on the coffee concentrate special. Is the buy 3 coffee concentrate price at $40?
yeah. So you get 6 of them. And so 6 for, I think that comes out to about, I don't know, $6.75 a piece or something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's buy 3, get 3.
It's a hell of a deal. Get concentrated coffee with all the mushrooms. Yeah, your whole life's going to turn around. It has mine. I'm staring at one right now. I'm not going to drink the whole thing today, but I'll have a third of that.
How about you, Lucas? Do you get to take a nap now that you have survived Black Friday?
Yeah, I'm going to actually here. I have a few things to get done, but I'm going to do a little nap and just chill out because then we got to go to the lighting of the Christmas tree, fireworks, boat parade, real reindeer, whole 9 yards.
Well, here in Camoy, they light the city tree in the Pueblo. I think it's tonight at 8 o'clock. It's tonight or tomorrow night. I'm pretty certain it's tonight at 8 o'clock. They light the Christmas tree in the city square. I need to see if it's tonight. See if I can get somebody to go with me so I can make it and take a picture or film it. It's almost magical.
Yeah,
it is huge.
Yep. And okay, you guys, 2 for 1 on a bunch, over 30 things right now. So, well, unless you get the concentrate, so get 3 of those, and you get 6 for that price. Anyways, that's the special. TheCBDGurus.com. Get into the wholesale, MarkZ wholesale. Hit those buttons. And
yeah, we got a new one. Who's we got JQ Wholesale.
JQ, yeah. Old JQ and his girlfriend. Her wife, I'm not sure, but she's a nice gal. Right, Lucas?
Awesome.
Yep. So, Lucas, are you there?
I don't even know what you mean.
Oh, JQ. You know who JQ is?
No idea.
Okay.
I knew somebody was going to ask, so I would just ask first. No, we need to see it where once we pop this up, we hit that, and there's like 10 of them in there, 15 of them in there. Especially this last year, because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this thing. We know, most products will survive, but not all products, unless there are some changes.
And we'll figure it out before we can't buy it anymore. We'll have case pricing, just like, at the liquor store.
Yeah, the
Case
only
price
concern,
like
folks,
Lucas.
is, and remember, don't wait until the month or two before, because everybody's doing that, including the different companies. So it's going to be, some are going to be willing to make some are not going to want to be stuck with inventory. It's going to get stupid in the last
Yeah.
couple of months before this ends, unless we get some clarification soon.
Well, and the thing is, what people don't realize, Mark, too, is that, and some people understand this, but a lot don't. Like, say if I'm going to, make whatever, like say I'm going to make certain gummies, right? I'm going to make some CBD and THC gummies. I'm planning that 2 to 3 months in advance. I mean, from acquiring everything to, to making it, to, packaging. I mean, you have a week to 2 weeks just of cure time. I mean, what people don't realize is that, it's like, oh yeah, it ends October 1st or whatever. It's like, guys, the last day that I'll probably be making them is probably June or July. Will
Yeah.
probably be because and you got to understand too, the guys who are actually making the distillate that I'm going through and I have for 8 years, they're
They'll probably
telling me
stop in May.
they're going to stop probably, a little earlier, April, May arena, because it all trickles down. So it's just one of those things where, a lot of this is probably going to end in the next probably 6 months, at least for all, from the manufacturing side. And then whatever is still out there on the retail side is going to, from Matt and the guys, are going to trickle on down. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, very.
We'll stock up though. We'll be all right for a while, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just one of those
100%.
for us to keep in mind as the end consumer. You guys, I know you're going to do your best to juggle it and work it through. And my guess is this whole thing will change, but probably not until the very end. And just like Lucas was saying, they will have cut back. It won't be in the supply chain. So it will take months to come back up to speed. If they get to the last moment, oh crap, which is, par for course in government. It's going to take months to ramp back up after. I think we're always going to have something. The question is as to what level.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see. I think the next I would say the next 3 months are going to be a really telltale sign of how this is all going to play out. If they can't fix it in the next, I would say, couple months, 2-3 months, then, we're going to know this is in for the long haul.
Yep, I think you're probably right. All right, folks, it's time to wrap it up this Friday. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all at 9:45 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning with Matt and Lucas.
Hey, thanks for having us on, Mark. Everybody have a good day.
You too, Matt. Lucas, enjoy that nap.
I'm going to. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you. To the rest, see you tomorrow morning. It has been a pleasure. Enjoy your leftovers for those that have them. See you guys in the morning.